You're watching Mirror 7 News. Stay informed, stay ahead for more news.
Across Quebec, the countdown has begun toward the big municipal elections set for November 2nd. Every 4 years since 2005, these elections have been held on the first Sunday of November. And once again, citizens are being called to choose who will lead their communities. In total, voters will decide on 104 mayors and close to 7,000 councillors across the province's many municipalities. Candidates who want to step into these roles have until October 3rd to file their papers, and from that point on, the race will be officially locked in. What's interesting is how much the size of each community affects the local race. In the smallest municipalities, it might just be one mayor and a handful of councillors to elect. In Montreal, though, the picture is much bigger. One mayor, 18 borough mayors, 46 city councillors, and 38 borough councillors are all up for grabs. That's a total of 103 elected officials in the city alone. Other larger municipalities are divided into districts, each with their own representative. There are also 21 prefect positions up for election in the regional county municipalities. To put the scope into perspective, Quebec counts 104 local municipalities, but they don't all carry the same legal designation. Some are cities, others are parishes, villages, or even united townships. Despite the important role that municipal governments play in everyday life, managing services that are closest to residents, voter turnout has historically been low. In fact, more than half of eligible voters typically stay home. Participation dropped to its lowest point during the pandemic-era elections of 2021. Region by region, results vary widely. In Gaspésie, just over half the voters showed up, while in Laval, turnout sank to less than 30%. Smaller towns generally fare better, likely because people feel a stronger sense of duty and connection to local decision-making. Another striking reality is that many municipal seats never even make it to a competitive vote. Since 2005, more than half of mayors and councillors have been elected unopposed, meaning they automatically won their seats once the nomination period closed. In 2021, no elections were held at all in 280 municipalities for that very reason. Recruitment in smaller towns can be tough, as the pool of potential candidates is limited, and many are reluctant to challenge incumbents. Looking at who steps into these roles, the average age of municipal officials is just over 53, with mayors slightly older than councillors. Seniors are increasingly visible in local politics, especially in smaller communities, while younger leaders tend to emerge in urban areas. Encouragingly, women continue to gain ground. In 2021, more than a third of elected officials were women, and in some towns, councils were entirely female. Yet, overall parity remains a work in progress. One last point to note is that most candidates run as independents rather than under party banners, although official municipal parties exist in larger cities. This mix often brings both fresh perspectives and continuity. In the last election, just under half of councillors were newcomers, while the rest brought prior experience. As the campaign unfolds, voters are being reminded of key dates. September 19th marks the official start of the campaign. October 3rd is the nomination deadline. Advance voting begins October 26th, and on November 2nd, polls will open for the main event. For many communities, the outcome may already be sealed early due to uncontested seats. But in places like Montreal and Quebec City, hotly contested races promise an exciting campaign season ahead. Stay subscribed for more videos.